Welcome, fellow armchair generals, railway history buff, and general history fans. This is Gamer1745 with my tutorial on how best to start the new Rising Sun scenario for the new Railway Empire Japan DLC. Now, before we get into that, if you're new here, can you please subscribe to the channel? Love to see you around more often for more railway history with Railway Empire talks with my friend IKB, as well as many other history gaming videos. And everyone, can you please hit that like button? I really do appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like button. I really do appreciate it, like I say. Well, okay, like I said, this is a tutorial on how best to start, as I see it, the first scenario here. Now, Calypso Media had said that they were done with developing Railway Empire and released the complete version of their game. And I was rather disappointed because I was hopeful for a Russia scenario setup or campaign, because there's a lot of railway history dealing with Russia, and of course India would be another great one with the colonial India dealing with the princely states and all of that. A lot of history there, I'm sure. Love to see those. But hey, I was surprised about a week and a half ago when I heard about this DLC coming, and I'm very thankful for Calypso Media to give me this copy of the DLC for your viewing pleasure and my playing pleasure. So let's get into this scenario we're going to, of course, be doing. I like to be able to stop and think, so we're going to do it on manual. Otherwise, just normal.
Your search is over. You found what you're looking for, partner.
Now we can see the different characters here.
If we want to win,
let's go. Time is
according to my calculations.
Surely you must be aware that I certainly won't disappoint you.
And the ninja, of course.
It doesn't.
The business plan.
Now, I like playing as the engineer because cheaper locomotives and free maintenance buildings. Upgrading businesses, which are non-railway essential, maybe essential for certain scenarios, but not for running it, do cost a lot more, but I think it's worth it. And slow repairs, well, hey, if you got maintenance buildings everywhere, you have less repairs. Okay, shut up. Well, first thing we're going to do is
welcome to our land,
pause the
stranger.
Game.
Your arrival honors us. I am Iwakura Tomomi, humble servant of His Imperial Majesty. His Highness has made a wise and far-sighted decision. The Japanese Empire should follow the lead of the West and tread the path of technical progress. For this strategy to bear fruit, it will require the help of people like you, who bring the knowledge of the railways to Japan. I ask you to be our instructor in these difficult early days. I already took the freedom of making a list of tasks that we need your guidance on.
Please note what he said, technical progress. That's very key to understanding Japan at this period. Okay, now, like I said, the first thing, pause. Second thing, after listening to the spiel, we want to max out on buying bonds. And we can buy two. So currently, we've got that to max out our money now. But our main station that we have to have everything connected through first is Tokyo. I really prefer to do the signaling control stations at start. I believe with this game it is best to build for the future and not like start with smaller stations and upgrade them. Right, okay. Well, what I'm trying to do here is move this back as far as I can from this river. So that is a bit of a problem if it's up too near the river. Then come over here. This is maybe in many ways a little less critical. We will put a station here. I almost sort of want to use a terminal station, but that's just a little too expensive. We're just going to come right like this. Like I say, build for the future. So we're going to build immediately dual track system. With this game, I feel it's very important, and I prefer the sort of pull me as opposed to push me setup with this. And again, we can upgrade that. Now we need to and the tasks. Connect 4 cities with a population of at least 16,500 each. None of the 4 cities that we have access to, because as we can see here, these are the only cities that we can get to building in. We need to have a total of 40 passengers moved. That's super easy. And 32 loads of rice to towns. That's also super easy to get done very quickly. Now we'll come down to Yokohama. Future main sort of harbor for the Japanese Navy that's going to be built coming up after this period. Okay. Yeah, I think here. On this edge of it. And now we're going to come here. Yeah, that's exactly as flat and fairly straight. Nice sort of, well, curving bit, but yeah, not wandering all over the place. Okay, so that gets these locked up into position here. Now we want to build up here at Saitama. As well, as close to the sort of river as we can. Now, this is going to be a little more expensive. I think this is better because this will allow enough free space to possibly put another railway station inside of Tokyo. So we are going to take on the idea of coming over here with a sort of bridging the river twice, unfortunately, but take a look at just, okay, that's just popping up way high there. So let's see what we can do with that. Maybe a bit too much. There we go. I guess that will do. Oh, let's look at this other bridge here. Yeah, much better. Only a 4%. Great. Let's see if we can even reduce that. No, they don't need the extra cost of the leveling up earthworks. Now, we are going to very quickly run into a problem of a very busy Tokyo station. Because with this setup, every train almost will go through Tokyo. Well, with this current setup, every train would go through Tokyo. So we need to, at least building a straight line through here would be nice, and I do plan on it, but I think the expense right now is a bit more than we want to pay. So what we're going to do is come out over something like this. Okay. That looks good. All right. Now we can see here, don't enter unless it's clear. And you want to be able to, and this is obviously and there is sort of an automated thing, which I don't like using because I want to have a bit of an input, but approximately a full train length outside of the stations, you want signals so we can clear the stations as quickly as possible. I'd rather have them waiting if need be on the track. Okay, now I'm not putting any supply towers yet because I may need the money for other things just at the start here, because I want to try to maximize this as much as possible. So we're going to, well, let's hold off on this actually, because I think we're going to have the money here. So now, again, we're building for the future and not building cheaply. We're going to put in at this rice farm area a railway station, and we're going to put in a warehouse over here as close as we can, sort of practically. And I'm sort of worrying about how it's dealing with the river up there. And we're going to put in a warehouse over here. Right. So then we're going to come here. It's way too bendy, way too curvy. Let's see about making it as straight as it seems to want to allow. Less track cost. Actually, you know, we're going to stop. We're going to trash that for the moment, because I want to build 2 more stations and I won't have the money at first. And we will be building the second track, but at first we're just going to run 1 train per track line out between those 2. Okay, eventually we will do two trains, or 2 tracks, I mean, just because we will have many more trains. Again, the free maintenance systems. There we go. So now we have this as a minimum operating. Let's get grains going in here. Oh, and we need to specify you want to accept rice. Just push that up there, and a locomotive to deliver the rice. You also need to accept that you want to deliveries of rice. There we go. Okay, so that will get us very quickly on our, what is it, 32 or whatever loads of rice to towns. Now for the passengers. Let's set up a train from Tokyo to Yokohama.
Excellent. Seeing how fast the locomotive rushes along the tracks, one day, such extraordinary machines will also be built here in Japan.
So there, and we're going to put on a little line from Yokohama to Tokyo, so that they'll be going counter operating each other as it much, though this will become too much of a bottleneck as time goes on. Now that we have that starting, as soon as it starts to load up, we will send a train up to there and back to here. So that is moving there. Now, because we will be running multiple trains here, what we will see, okay, in a moment, yes. When we get ready for now, train from here to here, Tokyo to Chiba. Yeah, waiting for track clearance. Okay, you got your track clearance. Now you get moving. Get soy sauce and rice, which is currently the only 2 industrial or processes we have. Now, we need to get also a train from Yokohama to here. And from Saitama back to Yokohama. Okay.
Tokyo has only recently become the capital of the empire. It is
So,
good
like
that
I
the
say,
railway is now emphasizing
super
its
fast.
claim to be a city of modernity.
Now, our real problem here is we don't have any rice for Tokyo or Chiba yet being delivered via train. We do have another rice farm over here, which I think is best to use as opposed to trying to bring tracks around. It means expense of one more station, true. Well, we'll wait till we get about 250,000 or something. They have their soy farms out here that will deliver a bit from wagons for a while. Now, I very much like to keep my freight network separated from my city to city network. Yes, there will be store goods, and sometimes those can be heavy and bulky, so you need to worry about express trains and non-express trains, but it keeps the flow of goods going. Now, we don't need coal yet, but it won't hurt to build the station so that it could accept coal in the future. And we're going to put the warehouse over about like that, I think. Okay. So as soon as we get some more income in, they do seem to want to put a clothing factory there first. Let's get it to 50,000. So we have a little bit, there we go. A little bit extra cash. Now, the warehouse, we want to accept rice. And of course, we want to again, we're only running one train at the moment, so we're building for the future for dual track everywhere. It's just this will be the path, obviously, for dual track. Once I put a second train on, and we will when we want to go to Tokyo with this rice farm. As you can see, we do have a bit of a grace period here for until we really need to have water towers, as I like to think of them, though they provide other things. And we got to make all four of these cities grow.
These transports took days until recently. Now it is only a matter of hours. Excellent.
So we're still in February of the first year, and we've gotten 2 of the tasks done. And by getting rice in here, we are greatly helping things up. But we're not getting sake to here. This is where we're going to start really clogging up the Tokyo train station. We will expand it, but first I want to get rice, another warehouse there, and get rice being delivered there before I expand this. But that extra train running hopefully will be enough to keep Chiba growing. the rice deliveries. I think about now. So try to place it so you have a full train on either side between these two stations. Something by eye right about there. Yes, you can be more scientific. Now here we don't have quite a full setup, so what? Well, since a lot of these are fairly small, well, no, we're going to build for the future. Let's put it here. And take the expense and the time we're waiting for development there of one money for one more. Yep, we're already getting, there we go. Now he can come down and get his supplies. That way all routes on at least the main lines between the cities will have supplies. And notice here, let's take a quick look here at the environment that we're looking at. We can see, and they particularly made this to look like a mix of traditional sort of Japanese architecture and sort of modernistic architecture that's coming in to fashion in Japan at the time. And notice, well, not every tree, I guess, is apparently a cherry tree, but this is cherry blossom time around Japan. And note all of that's sort of what triggered me into it. All of the trees going with cherry blossoms. Mount Fuji, I don't know, maybe it's probably about right. Don't know about the pagoda over here. I guess it's a famous one. Skoshi Nihongo o Hanashimasu, but just a little bit had it back in high school many years ago. But there's still a lot about Japan I don't know. So yeah, they've got a lot of neat immersion elements. Continue this because this is a tutorial and not just a... Okay, now Yokohama to Chiba, one of our longer routes, so we're going to put him to keep him going quick. Yeah, I know you're going to slow up, but we probably have a surplus of rice, and well, not because they're doing sake, but still, we'll get some supply stations soon there. But right now I want to get the warehouse to Tokyo as fast as possible. We currently have 1 of 4 cities up to size. What did they get this time? Noodle factory. Okay, they need rice for noodles. Right, okay. That's very good for us because they're producing rice out of there. So we don't have a cloth factory yet for Tokyo. My first time playing through the start of the scenario, this was a cloth factory, which was rather useful. But noodles will be useful too. When do they start getting in demand? 25,000 citizens. Okay. We can speed this up a little bit because it's now mostly just waiting for money to come in. Yeah, I know you're going to slow up. Oh, well. Okay. Let's come over here. Warehouse for Tokyo. And we'll probably need a little bit more money to put all this in. But we're going to need to do this immediately because I don't want this to run slowly. There we go. And we'll need a bit more money for the be actually laid. And we'll take the stoker. Break down bad condition. Did we forget? Yes, we did forget a repair shed there. That would probably have kept it from bad condition. We'll still get random breakdowns, but I hope to keep bad condition breakdowns from happening. Now, let's see, we can, well, we're going to wait just a little bit. Might as well actually have the money to buy the train. If we're going to lay the track. There we go. So, track to there. This warehouse. And rice. And so now we're going to come down here. Here to here. Which will move rice. Since we are going to be having 2 trains on this track. Yeah, right about there. I prefer playing at this speed. Now, let's take a quick look at research. They've gone, I liked when they, in Australia, I think it was, they had all this on one panel, if you will, instead of back and forth, more integrated. I like that a little better, but I guess they went back to this. Now, okay, you know, more passengers, yeah. Good stuff here. Not gonna suggest not. That would be very good, but all that's going to take time to get to reduce cost of tracks. Now here, okay, we have tractive power 84%, 43 speed, reasonably good for mixed. Come up here, more tractive power, a little less speed. I don't know if it's going to really be useful if we had a little bit of a hill climb or some particularly heavy cargo. Okay, expresses, a little bit harder to work out here, but we may do expresses. So we have some things coming here that will definitely help us. But what can really help us is we come back over to here and look at that. Save up, I would suggest saving up for this. It's only reducing it by 15%, but come back and get this. I'm not doing any tunnels anytime soon, I don't plan. So we can come back here, get our first 300 research points or innovation points, and put it there to reduce track costs, where it's going to take a long time to get that 20% reduction. So do that, and then that way more and more rails going around will be better for us. Now on, we're really just waiting for more money to come in. Oh, well, here's another good surveyor tunnels. Damn. Just get enough. Well, I'm going to take the surveyor, but really would have wanted a track. Proving surveyor. Okay, now we're starting to miss. And we have the money and miss having supply station. Right about there, that should be. Now, I quite haven't experimented with just what the cost of bridging overall of this would be. Probably not as much as building the single train station over here, coming around this way, but it's just going to be that much more traffic jams, and I want to keep everything flowing efficiently. Okay, let's put a supply tower right about there. He has the longer path to go. Now they're both using rice, so and a conductor. This one helps 10% more profits from mail, which is nice. And we'll put this, well, you know, let's put this right about. Oh, another station I forgot to put a, yeah, I've just seen that happen. Bad condition. Thought I got them all, but 2 of them I missed. Now, how are we doing for, okay, we got 2 of 4, so population, that's over. That is way over. Nearly there. And also nearly there, so we're doing pretty good for that. We just need this to go up in population a little bit. Now, station master, let's see. This one streamlines work processes at all stations, reducing loading time taking for dispatching cranes by 5%. Certainly. That will help clearing out particularly this congested space here. No. A conductor, certainly. Okay, let's see. We have a lot of passengers on this line. We already have a conductor there. Okay, passengers and mail. No. There we go. That's growing up. These guys. So, they like soybeans, lumber. Those are both outside, I believe, of our current region for building stations. No, not factories. We can see here. We might be able to squeeze one from there. Yeah, no soy readily here, so we don't have the soy option. We do have the seafood option. So what we're going to do here is come over here, grab the train station here. Sure, we're connecting both of those, because it will be useful in future. We might as well just give everyone a little less congested at a time, and yes, we have to wait until building that. we can build this. And we can come over here and have it accept octopus. And of course they want octopus already. And so we're going to do one train. That's all we built the cracks for at the moment. I'm going to carry that. That should get this one building up. Oh, looks like it's going to grow already. Even before we do our first delivery. We're only in June, so we're going pretty fast getting this developed. And there we go. Put in wait out here. We'll clear after this point. Signals. We don't have the money to do that. Unfortunately. Should have waited. If I'd known it was coming, of course I would have. I always go for the auctions for the technologies because it frees up other things as much as. Alright, well. New line up there. I'm going to make sure that they'll accept the puss in the warehouse. Wait for track clearance, okay. We've got 3 of the 4, so we're just waiting on Tokyo. Getting the octopus in should push us over the needed threshold. Or just time, but we'd rather get it going faster. That was the point. As soon as I can, I want to expand Tokyo into a large train station. So I've already seen a lot of waiting for trains to clear here. And there we go, they're getting their first fish delivery with trains. There we go. We can upgrade that now. Which is going to allow me to add a train station from here, or a train line from here to there. And we're going to do a reciprocal one from there back as soon as the money comes in. This one now can just zip through Tokyo. Engineer. What's this a? Yeah, speedy one. I don't rather speed up other trains. We'll add a second one of these now that they're near Chiba. Copy that. So now there's two trains between each of these 4 stations. Okay, they're growing too. And so speed and efficiency. And it probably would be good to put a signal in there so that way it keeps this a little more clear. And here we go. Track gangs. Yeah, missing equipment. That was going to happen, of course. So let's put this down here in a good spot right about there between these 2 stops. So this one gets the ones coming from here that go to these 2 warehouses. Should be enough.
As close as these cities are, all places in Japan must be connected. Then we will have paved a way into the future. The first railways are very impressive. His Imperial Majesty is delighted by this rapid progress. You have permission to expand your ventures to the regions north of here.
Right. So this is my tutorial on how to start the new DLC. I think efficiently, quickly. We got everything done by September 1870, all in the first 9 months. So we have that. And if you're interested in seeing more of this DLC, please post below. I hope everyone already liked the videos. And do you have any questions about Railway Empire? Maybe I can answer them. At least I try. So please post those below as well. See you next time for more historical videos. Thanks, everyone.